You are walking down a long, unfamiliar road with just a backpack, feeling exhausted but excited to see what is over the next hill. You have no map, no GPS, and no idea how far you have to go before finding a good place to rest. Our ancient ancestors felt that exact same way thousands of years ago, but on a much larger scale. How did prehistoric humans manage to travel across the entire world? It seems almost impossible when you think about it. Today, we hop on a plane and cross an ocean in a few hours. But early humans did not even have the wheel, let alone ships or cars. Yet, they managed to spread from Africa to every corner of the earth. The journey started roughly 60,000 years ago. Early humans, our direct ancestors, decided to pack up and leave Africa. But they were not taking a vacation. They were constantly looking for food, better weather, and safer places to live. The climate was changing, and that played a massive role in their journey. The Earth was going through cycles of intense ice ages. This might sound terrible, but for early travelers, freezing temperatures were actually a huge advantage. When the planet got colder, a lot of the Earth's water froze into giant glaciers. This caused sea levels to drop dramatically. Because the water was so low, huge bridges of land appeared between continents. Places that are deep underwater today were completely dry back then. Think about the gap between Russia and Alaska. Today, that is a dangerous, freezing ocean. But thousands of years ago, it was a wide stretch of dry land called Beringia. Early humans simply walked across it. They were following herds of giant animals like mammoths and reindeer. They did not even realize they were stepping onto a brand new continent, which we now call North America. They were just following their dinner, taking things one day at a time. Walking was certainly the main method, but it was not the only way they got around. Some of the most amazing travelers were the ones who went south toward places like Australia. These early humans actually built boats. They tied bamboo, wood, and reeds together to make simple rafts. Using the wind and ocean currents, they floated across open water. It was incredibly dangerous. They could not even see the land they were aiming for. They just watched the birds and the stars, hoping they would eventually find a solid beach. Along the way, these travelers had to adapt extremely fast. If a group walked into a freezing environment, they had to learn how to make warm clothes from thick animal skins. If they found a dense, humid jungle, they had to figure out which strange wild plants were safe to eat and which ones were poisonous. Every single step they took was a giant experiment in survival. They had to learn how to make new tools from whatever rocks and bones they could find in their new homes. Generation after generation, families moved just a few miles a year. It was a very slow process. A single person would not travel across the globe in their lifetime. Instead, a grandfather might move his family to a new river valley, and his grandchildren would eventually move to the next mountain range. Over tens of thousands of years, those tiny little steps added up. Eventually, humans had settled on nearly every piece of land on Earth. Our ancestors crossed burning deserts, sailed over rough oceans, and survived freezing ice ages using nothing but simple stone tools and human curiosity. They were the ultimate explorers, pushing into the unknown simply because they needed to survive and wanted to see what was next. It really makes your next family road trip seem pretty easy by comparison. So the next time you look at a world map, remember that every single place you see was discovered by someone walking, floating, and hoping for the very best. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts.